Happy Monday. You can trust that day. It never gets old, I don't think, right? But Monday's a good day because you're still here. And I get to come and talk to all of you. Happy Monday, everybody. David Burrows here, as always, with your weekly episode of the show, episode 577. Woo! Just over 11 years. Going to keep going here for a while. I don't plan on disappearing. Hope you'll keep me around here by watching. Nice to have you here. Boy, busy weekend. Beauty and the Beast at the Imperial Theater was sold out and a big hit. I couldn't go, but I heard so many great things about it. Imperial Theater, always putting on some great shows. And you're going to step out locally out of town, down in Fort Wayne, Classic Seeger, who includes many great local talents performing to large crowds as well. So congratulations to Classic Seeger. I think I might have to try to have some of them on here at one point to talk about their journeys with Classic Seeger. If you're a Bob Seeger fan, you definitely want to check them out online. Don't forget to say hello in the chat. Even if I'm not answering right away, I'll come back and say hello and ask your questions to our guests as well. Now, I really appreciate when you click the like button or the love button, but one of the things I would ask that you do is click the share button. You know, I have guests here every week. I've been kind of just doing one guest instead of a whole bunch because I want them to get all the attention they deserve. And the reason I put on the show is so we can showcase many great local things that are happening. So by clicking the share button, you're sharing my guest's message. So if you could take the time to share this on your social medias, that'd be great. Yeah, I was busy around with a lot of things. We'll talk about Sarnia Sting coming up in just a moment. But yes, please say hello in the chat. Of course, I always have to say very, very grateful for my sponsors and supporters. Blue Water Power, a group of companies coming on board recently to support the show. Thank you, Blue Water Power, for not just what you do here on the show, but supporting many great fundraisers and organizations. I can't imagine the number size that they put back into the community, but it's large. So thank you, Blue Water Power. I hope you know that you're appreciated in our community, not just by me, but by so many. Joe's Discount Tire. Winter's coming. The snow's been on the ground a little bit. We were in London recently, and it's coming. So get the right tires on there. Go down and see Joe's Discount Tire. They're just at the bottom of the Indian Road overpass here in Sarnia. And, of course, our friends, 11-year supporter, Huron Signs, SWO, part of AG Event Graphics. AskGuy.ca is where you want to go learn more about their group of companies. Thank you, Guy, and everybody down there at AG Event Graphics. Well, lots to talk about, so let's jump right into hockey. Wow, it's been a busy time for the Sarnia Sting, and so many things happening. They've really been, I think they're doing well. I mean, they all come up with some losses at times, but I think overall the Sarnia Sting are doing well, and I think we're going to see a whole lot more. Last week, coming up against, this past Friday, against Sarnia Sting taking on the Windsor Spitfires. Slow down, David. Sarnia Sting taking on the Windsor Spitfires. Not an easy team to beat. And it was definitely a game and a battle, but Sarnia Sting would come out on top with a final score of 3-2. This was great for them because out of the 3 times we previously played Windsor, we were only be able to beat them by 1 time, right? So great victories in there, and lots of new things that happened on that night as well, as far as some new players coming on to the team. If you go to the Facebook page and watch the post-game press conference, you'll see some of those new players. One of them notably joining us there for the post-game press conference. Okay, so check that out on the Facebook page. We always do the post-game press conferences after each home game. And, of course, you can see those also online at sarniasting.com. Now, they would go away for the weekend, and it would be a battle out there as well, as they would go to Barrie first and fall down in overtime to the Barrie Colts by 1. They battled hard and had things coming out ahead, but Barrie was able to come back. Overtimes have not been the greatest thing for the Sarnia Sting this year. But then, well, call me a bit of a liar, they would go down to play Oshawa over the weekend as well on Sunday, and they would win in overtime this time, 6-5. This was a constant battle through and through. But also want to say a special shout out to Angus McDonnell, who would get a hat trick. In fact, he would get one more to call it, I guess they call it the Texas hat trick. Angus McDonald would put the Sarnia Sting into a win in overtime. A final score of 6-5, getting 4 goals in one game. Congratulations to Angus McDonnell. So now they'll be coming back here in Sarnia on Wednesday, and we'll be taking on the Mississauga Steelhead. So go to sarniasting.com to get your tickets, get them in advance, and keep an eye out. I might have some tickets that I'm giving away coming up before Wednesday as well. Well, really excited for this one. Tourism Sarnia-Lambton getting together to put this on. This is going to happen Saturday, December the 17th at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. And it's going to happen from 12 to 4 in the daytime, and then nighttime 6 to 11 p.m. This is craft beer, local wine, cider and mead, along with local food samplings, backyard games, and some very special entertainment. Live nighttime music will feature Rumblefish and Dwayne Gretzky. Super talented there. Start Googling Dwayne Gretzky and you'll learn so much more about the entertainment that's happening there. Part of Ontario's Blue Coast and Tourism Sarnia-Lambton. Tickets available online, and tickets only $30 for the evening, and during the day, free admission. So mark that on your calendar for Festival of Cheers. What a great name for a great time of year here in Sarnia. All right, well, I want to give a shout out here I don't know why I've never done this sooner. It's been quite some time. We actually had Rich Bouchard on here a long time, but Hashtag Local has now got Hashtag Local Magazine. And this is, they've really been doing some great things. You can find out hashtaglocal.com. Same group, or some of them from the Year of Local, if you remember the books, and now Hashtag Local, who also works closely with the Sarnia Sting as well, featuring many great local businesses. And now they have the Hashtag Local magazine, which is now out, and we're showcasing off our friend Laura there from Home Hardware over here on Russell Street, a great local family-owned business. And there's so many great features in there. There's Paresh, and there's the Glass and Pillar Spa. There's On the Dot delivery, and this local magazine is now available for free in select local businesses around the area. So keep an eye out for it, and you can't miss it. This issue, the holiday issue with Laura's big smile there. She's going to go, wow, David, you're picking on me. But great articles in there, and it's free as well. And you can earn some rewards and some points when you shop local and support local, and you can learn more about that once again by going to #local.com. Maybe I'll reach out to Richard. Time to have him back here and talk more about Hashtag Local. All right. Well, it's that time where we have our friend Dave Brown from United Way Sarnia-Lambton. And, you know, somebody said, somebody asked me, why do you keep doing it? It's really important to understand the local side of United Way Sarnia-Lambton. And for Dave Brown and his team, they want to put out full transparency when it comes to numbers and what they're doing. And they support so many local agencies, not just Sarnia, but Lambton County. And all of the dollars, with the exception of 1%, that goes to the head United Way to get support for the local United Ways, all the dollars stay right here. And it's just, it's important to me to make sure that people understand the importance of the United Way and many organizations. But I like having Dave back here once a month because of the importance of the local side, the board of members, and the transparency that United Way talks about, and all the great things they do in our community. So, okay, enough of that. Let's go out now into the community and talk to our friend Dave Brown. Well, it's that time. Yep, we're ready to have him back. Our friend Dave Brown from United Way of Sarnia-Lambton. Dave, good day to you.
Good afternoon, David. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Are you adjusting to the weather yet?
That and the time change. I'm still struggling with the time change.
Oh, is that right?
In fact, I actually logged on an hour ago, and I thought, where is he? Dave's not usually late. And then I realized that. But, yeah, I don't like the cold. As you know, I'm a summer beach person.
Yeah, me too. We got to put the motorcycles away. Anyway. Well, yeah, that's right. Oh, you had to bring that up. Well, let's get to it. I know just a few days ago you announced there it is, the needs target, right?
Yes.
That's about 50% of the way, is it?
Yeah, we're grateful to be at 50% of that $1.65 million needs target. It took us a while to get there. But we still have about, 6 weeks yet left to go in the campaign. Still a lot of large donations out there that people haven't made their contributions yet. So we're glad to be here psychologically. It's great to be at that 50% mark.
Yeah, but still 50% to go, right? So
Yes.
glass half full or half empty here?
Well, I like to think it's half full. I really do.
Yeah. Well, this community, we say it every time, I say it every show, really knows how to come together to help out. Have you, since coming out of the pandemic, although we're like, it's still around, that COVID thing, right?
Right.
Were you concerned about whether or not people would be affording to donate like they had in the past because of that?
Well, more so it's an inflation question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are hurting with inflation rates at 6, 7, 8%.
Yeah.
The gas prices are still high, and it's affecting families, and it's affecting seniors. I mean, as you know, a lot of seniors support the United Way through making donations on their credit card or sending us checks.
Yeah.
They're having it difficult with higher grocery bills, and also their investments aren't doing that great. If you looked at the stock markets lately, where there are
look at them every day.
Yeah, they've all got RSPs that they expect some growth. It hasn't been. So we're getting hit twice in that regard. Yeah. Not to mention the need is greater because those families that were struggling before and were able to keep their heads above water, and we're doing a great job. Yeah. Now all of a sudden are paying $25 or $30 more every time they fill up a tank. Groceries, as you know, are X amount more. So it's really affecting us in multiple ways.
Yeah. Well, if you talk to Miles Vanny from the Good Shepherd, he'll tell you the same thing. Families that used to donate to them are having to go and use their services now.
That's right.
Because of, and Jennifer and I had a conversation the other day about groceries. I didn't know, like, she does all the groceries, so I don't even know what an apple costs, but we were talking about popcorn,
right?
And how much it is at the movie theater.
Right.
And I said, well, I don't get it. It's only like 40, 50 cents for one of those packets. She's like, no, it's like $1 something. And again, I don't do that. So even everything, right? You might be relieved to know, and those watching, we had talked about gas prices last month, and I had mentioned how the government was cutting taxes on that to bring that down, but that was ending December 1st. They just announced that they're extending that one more year. So,
yes.
But that would have a lot of effect, the gas on a lot of the services that you provide, like transportation.
Absolutely. You look at the Meals on Wheels that we fund through the Red Cross and Leo, as well as the transportation. I mean, like I mentioned at our last episode, that the Leo, which is a Lambton Elderly Outreach headquartered in Reese's Corners, do transportation to medical appointments, grocery stores, even food banks. 617,000 kilometers they traveled last year.
Crazy.
So you can imagine what even a 5-cent difference on their per liter on their gas bill is for a year.
Yeah, and that all adds up. Well, and it's fortunate, though, that the United Way is there to help with that. What's coming up in the future that it's, again, we'll show the needs target here is 50% of the way, but I know I'm teasing you, but there's always something to do with food with you.
That's true. That's true. The secret to our success has to do with food for sure. And, we're glad that Libro Credit Union is once again sponsoring our Dante Club frozen takeout meal event. And, of course, the Lambton Cattlemen and the Lambton pork producers are on board again this year, also donating meat products. And we know from, we talk about inflation, what a great savings that is. And Berry Hill Farms is, they had donated to us in previous years, back when we had the locally Lambton dinner, a lot of excellent produce, such as cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower and whatnot. They're doing the cabbage this year for a new item, the cabbage rolls. And there's been a lot of interest in those already. You can buy a large cabbage rolls through our website. Just go to the United Way website at www.theunitedway.on.ca. Scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see that exact same poster. Just click on it, and up will come all of your menu options. And you can order a large, which has 8 cabbage rolls for just $23.
Wow.
Or you could order a small, which has 3 servings. And so for somebody who doesn't eat that much, I mean, that could be 3 meals right there for $11. So
Right.
that's a great deal. We anticipate we hope to raise over $2,500 from this event.
Yeah.
And the nice thing with this too, David, is a lot of our events that we've had in the past, there's some waste. Now, of course, we always donated it to River City Vineyard or to Miles or whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
But the nice thing with this is we know exactly how many we need. The Dante Club is making exactly how many. If we have a couple extra, they're frozen, so we can always sell them. So everything's going to be sold. The cutoff is, I believe it is next Sunday, because pickup is the
29th.
it says, order pickup is Sunday, November 27th, and you can actually pick up the meals on the Tuesday, the 29th, between 3 and 5:15.
Yeah. I'm the lasagna guy.
Yeah.
I love the cabbage rolls too, though. I'm kind of torn. Everything I've had everything there at one point.
Yes.
The Donna Club, a great community partner, not just with United Way, but with so many organizations.
Absolutely.
And you say $2,500, like that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it really does. Like you and your board are really good at stretching the dollar. Talk about the conversations that you have with your board to take that money and stretch it as far as it will go.
Well, you're absolutely right. But just backing up a little bit, not only is it $2,500, but it's extra awareness. I mean, it's something that you and I are talking about right now. People are going to have friends and family over, or they're going to serve it. They're going to talk about where they got it. Oh, we got it from the United Way fundraiser. Oh, right, I got to get my United Way donation in. It got us some airtime on local broadcast media, some ink in that print media. So there's a lot of spin-offs far beyond the $25,000 or even $3,000 that we might raise. But you're absolutely right. I just have my board president in here, who's a volunteer on our board of directors, and we're talking today on cost savings. What can we do in 2023 and beyond to save costs? And things like maybe if we can reduce one board meeting, for example. Doesn't sound like much. Everybody's volunteers anyways, but it's less time we're looking at setting up minutes or sending out agendas or taking us away from maybe sending out an email to people who've given in past years, but not yet this year. So you look at that opportunity cost as well. So, that's always at the top of our agenda is how can we invest people's donations as best we can to those needs most needed, and how can we cut our costs so we got as much money as possible to invest in those programs and services.
Yeah, well, and that leads to the next part. We always talk about it, but it's important, folks, that you understand that every dollar that comes into the United Way Sarnia-Lambton stays in Lambton County. It does not leave to go anywhere else, and that's I think one of the key points that when people donate, they really like to hear that.
Absolutely. Now, I would like to clarify that 1% goes to pay our national dues. But that 1%, because we raise less than $5 million, we get more value back than we do an actual paying that 1%. So I like to say 100% of our dollars are being used to benefit Sarnia-Lambton. So technically, I mean, it's a somatic thing, but I want to be, I'm always big on transparency.
Well, yeah.
So I want to be clear on that. We get research data. We get government relations with the federal government. You may recall a couple of years ago, we received some COVID money from the federal government. We were able to like $500,000 we were able to distribute amongst local charities. So we get all of that as a result of that 1%. So it's certainly very economical, although we always question it every time we have to pay it, as you can imagine. Right. But, you're right. People want to support local. We know that people want to support local farmers and local agriculture business. Just stop by the market on a Wednesday morning or a Saturday morning. And people are always talking about that on Facebook. They want to support local businesses. And we talk about, Local Business Saturday, which is coming up. Donating to local charities to help people right here in our community is right up there too. And I think United Way fits the bill. As you know, we've got 18 funded agencies that provide over 30 programs and services right here, as you pointed out, in this community.
Yeah. And just to let everybody know, there's a couple of things and folks, I want to be clear too, like there's a reason why I have Dave here once a month. Some of you who are watching have maybe heard some of the same things, but it's that important in my mind anyway to have Dave here so that people understand that maybe missed last time just how this works. And I like to point out that the board is all local volunteers, right? So they really have a perspective. And when we say local, Lambton County, we're not just talking Sarnia here. We're talking, out to Grand Bend and Wyoming and all those areas around, right? So you get really different perspectives because a lot of the people on the board live in different areas, right?
Absolutely. We've got a good cross section, both at the staff level and at the board level of different demographics in our community. And to your point, we fund completely different programs than they do even in Kent, just to our south.
Yeah.
They're funding what needs that best meet the needs in their community. But not only funding decisions, but also policy decisions. Some of our policies may be different than they are in London, Middlesex, or in Huron, Perth. They're set up to best meet the needs in our community. And it's interesting when you look at, I think when you look at the 30 programs that we fund, I think 3 of them are the same in Chatham, Kent. So I think that really sets us unique from almost any other charitable organization. We're very much bottom up in our organizational structure.
Yeah. What about the creative side of things? I mean, okay, you have things that work, obviously the food things work, the Donny Clip thing worked.
Right.
Do you keep trying to come up with new ideas, or do you just stick with what's been working?
Well, I think the philosophy is the same. People give to people.
Yeah.
And that's always, I think, fundamental. But we're looking at new tools, and we talked about social media, getting new people posting about the United Way. Direct mail is of course very, very important to United Way and has been growing, that and online donations. But again, we have to put that human element into that. People need to be reminded. In today's world, as you know, with all the balls you're juggling in the air, people forget to make the charitable donations to United Way. So they need that reminder. Yeah. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now. That works, reminding people, because 96% of the people or so who donate one year are probably going to donate the next.
Likely, yeah.
They forget. So right now we're doing those follow-ups, but we're trying to be creative in how we do those follow-ups. And in some cases, the Dante Club meals might be part of it. When they're picking up their lasagna, they remember, geez, I got to give at the workplace because maybe my company matches, or I want to make sure that we get credit for that.
Yeah. And you talk about like companies that match, there are companies that go, hey, if you give 5, we'll give 5 to a certain point. Right. So that helps a lot. Like, so 5 is really 10 and so on. But the community really supports the United Way as well. Like, okay, you got the Donny Club, but we've seen like hamburger restaurants and pizza restaurants, and they really get involved with the United Way to, Sarnia Staying. You got to mention them for sure. That's got to go a long way with you.
Absolutely. We love the engagement of local businesses. I mean, Global Donuts is a great one. We have Global Donut Day in April. We've done things at the Tello's Bake Shop on Confederation Road or Street. It's an opportunity so that we can promote local businesses, which, again, is part of what we want to do in our community. And regardless of the size of their operation, they could support the United Way. Global Donuts may have raised more or less money than another, but at the end of the day, January the 1st, when we're adding up all the money, it all adds up, whether it's 1,000 here or 300 there or 6,000 there. Now, on that point, we've got 2 companies that have just finished. One does match dollar for dollar, which is Pembina. And they were both up over last year. So, I mean, that's significant. And just circling back to the matching companies, Nova and Arlanxio are 2 of the largest ones that match dollar for dollar. Those match deadlines are coming up at the end of the month. So if any of your viewers out there are employees or retirees of those 2, Shell is also coming up close. Please get those contributions in. We will know that you're retirees from those companies, and we'll make sure that the company knows it, and we'll get the match.
Awesome. Dave, thanks so much for your time today. As always, anything else before I let you get back to your busy day?
just, never underestimate the value of us appearing on the show to talk about items of interest to not only your viewers, but to the community at large. We really appreciate it. And I know I speak on behalf of other charitable groups too.
Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate you, buddy. And burgers and beers soon.
You bet.
All right. Dave Brown from United Way Sarnia-Lambton. Find out more simply by going to their website on the screen there. Until next time, take care, Dave.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Again, an important part of our community, and many reasons why I like to have Dave back here once a month. And I do appreciate Dave giving me his time here once a month. And yes, Dave, we are ready. I always know when Dave's here, I'm due for him and I hanging out. So, I mean, why not, right? You can find out more about the United Way, as I mentioned there. Simply go to their website, theunitedway.on.ca, or give them a call there, and or send them an email, and find out how you can donate or support them. There's many different ways to support them, and all of the agencies that they support and how they support them are listed on their website. Thanks again, Dave. And first one's on me. How about that? All right. I want to give you a reminder as well. We had a few weeks ago here, our friend, I better mute. We had our friend Alexa here talking to us about the Penguin Walk. She came to us from the Northampton Community Health Center, and they've got a balanced mini fair coming up on November the 28th from 9 a.m. till noon at Christina Street. And the best part is, they're going to have free refreshments. Find out what that's all about by going to the Northampton Community Health Center on Facebook, or find them on their website. And once again, a reminder to keep an eye out for the holiday edition of #Local Magazine here in town. And if you want to find out where they are, simply go to #local.com. All right. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for being here. Once again, check out our sponsors, support them as best you can, and maybe go to their Facebook page and tell them thank you for what they do in our communities, because all of these supporters here support many here in Sarnia-Lambton. And as always, that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye.